Speaking of formal professional conferences, can you talk about your recent experience in Poland and what's ahead of you in Poland?
Sure. Again, the value of my research is that it's very empirically based. I think more than any other person in the field, people would admit that what I'm doing really is strongly quantitative in nature. Even though there's a lot of other quantitative researchers going on, there's more quantitative stuff coming out of my shop. I'm one of the first persons to do structural equation modeling, using multivariate analyses on the data, using multiple sources of data, self versus observers. I was the first person to do that in this area. So that's the value of the research that I do. And that kind of work seems to be very well received in Eastern European countries. That obviously they're former Soviet republics, with even though the Cold War is over, the Soviets have gone home. What remains in a lot of these Eastern European countries is an ongoing skepticism for religion, particularly in professional circles. In that I know, like my colleagues in Poland, when I was contacted by them, there were a small group of researchers who wanted to do work in spirituality. They were getting a lot of resistance from their colleagues saying that spirituality can't be measured, it's not scientific, it's beyond, it's metaphysical, blah, 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 blah. And so they originally invited me to come to Poland to talk at they had a conference on motivation they were doing, and somehow they were able to fit me into the bill there to talk about the work that I'm doing on spirituality and to really showcase the strong quantitative, scientifically rigorous methods that I'm using in my work. Okay, and so that their colleagues could see and ask questions and do what they needed to do to get a sense of comfort that yes, spirituality is a viable scientific construct when operationalized in the way that I operationalize it. And as a result of my talk there, the work of my colleagues has become a lot easier, and they become a little bit more productive in doing work, their own work on spirituality. And in fact, I'm invited back this September again. They're looking at spirituality in the workplace kind of thing. It's looking at a business-related issue and satisfaction in business, and they're looking at spirituality as another variable. So I'm glad to see that they're very excited because their work now got a real big boon from me, and they're obviously following with the Aspires and doing that. But also people in Hungary and Czechoslovakia, especially the Czech Republic, which is a very atheistic country, probably the most non-religious of all the Eastern European countries. And again, trying to bring spirituality into that context becomes very difficult unless, of course, people can demonstrate a strong scientific foundation for it. And they can. And the Aspires is the reason for that. The Aspires is an empirically robust, psychometrically sound instrument that captures spirituality and religiousness as psychological constructs.
And one of the nice kind of after effects of your work in Poland is that some of the professors you met over there came to the mid-year conference a few years ago, so we were able to interact with them and to learn from them and to see what their presentations were, and that was just an overall enjoyable experience.
Yeah, good. Yes, it's good to see people getting excited by this kind of topic, and it's exciting for me to know that it's the work that I've done that's giving them the footings for their own springboard into their own careers on that.
Now,